Hey guys, it's Realistic here. I'm Ray, and here's my friend again with another Vylon variation.
What's up guys? This is Vylon OTK right here. I've been testing this for 13 months, up to 14 actually. And like again, I believe my Vylon deck is the best one on the internet. So here we go. I'm gonna go over just the cards first and then explanations later. So first off, we have triple Vylon cube. Then we have Morphtronic Scopin. And then we have triple Trident Warrior, along with triple Photon Thrasher. And then we're gonna have triple Gen X Neutron. And lastly, for the monsters, we're gonna have double Shining Angel. Now moving on to the spells. We're gonna have your Holy Trinity of Yu-Gi-Oh! No Book of Moon. You're gonna have triple MST. And then for your searchers, Draw Engine, etc., you're gonna have Rhoda, One Day of Peace, double Duality, and double Magical Mallet. And then we're gonna have one Vylon Matter. And then for the equips, we're gonna have triple Mage Power, one Twin Swords of Flashlight Trice, one Vylon Component, one Vylon Segment, and one Vylon Filament. That sums up the spells. Now for traps, one Solemn Judgment, one Malevolent Catastrophe, and triple Trap Stun. Alright, now moving on to the side deck. We're gonna have double Cyber Dragon, double Watt Pheasant, one Gores, one Chimera Fortress, one Mind Control, one System Down, one Mind Crush, double Gozen Match, double Magic Cylinder, and lastly, double Dark Bribe. And lastly, for our extra deck, we're gonna have one Utopia, we're gonna have one Photon Papilloperative, one Maestro, one Kachikochi, double Excalibur, one Blade Armor Ninja, one Star Leech Palladynamo, and one Vylon Disigma. And then for the synchros, we're gonna have double Vylon Sigma, double Black Rose Dragon, one Stardust Dragon, and lastly we're gonna have Vylon Epsilon.
Yeah, alright. Sums up the main deck.
Yeah, sums up the overview. Now we're gonna go over the explanations, which should show you exactly why my deck is better than every other deck on the internet. Okay, so for starters, let's go off with Vylon Cube. Now, as you can see, I only run 4 tuners, 3 Vylon Cubes and 1 Morphtronic Scopin. Now, Vylon Cube is the only card you want to synchro with when you're going into Vylon Sigma, which is going to be used for your OTK. Now, the only reason I have Morphtronic Scopin in here is because it's a level 3 tuner, and it can go into Black Rose easily to nuke the field. And in addition to that, its effect is when it's in defense, it becomes a level 4. So basically, I use Trident Warrior, Special Summon Scopin, and Overlay for a rank 4. So Scopin is only used for Black Rose, and I don't want it for Sigma because I need to use Cube's effect to search for an equip card so I can make Sigma more powerful and go for an OTK. So in all, if you see other deck profiles run multiple tuners, take into mind that the only card that you want to actually synchro with when going into the OTK is Vylon Cube. Now moving on to the level 4s, we have triple Trident Warrior and triple Photon Thrasher. They're pretty much the same thing. This one is when you normal summon and special summon a level 3, hence this one. You can special summon this and normal that, and both make you a level 7 synchro. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. Plus they're both warriors, so I can go into like Excalibur, I can go into Blade Armor, etc.
Would you say that Thrasher is better because they can't get Veilered?
You know, that's what I was gonna say that, but if you think about it, sometimes when I have Shining Angel, I would special summon a tuner from using Shining Angel's effect, but then I can't use Thrasher, right? Because it's already on the field. So, I mean, both have their cons and their pros. I think both of them are equal. And so, yeah. I mean, sure, Thrasher cannot get Veilered, but there's some limitations because of its summoning condition. And then we're going to run triple Gen X Neutron. This searches out your tuners, either Morphtronic Scopin or Vylon Cube. And basically, I see a lot of deck profiles only run 1 or 2 of these, but you have to run 3 because you have to get into the OTK as fast as possible. And sure, you can wait a turn, or you have to wait a turn to get your main play out, but it's definitely worth it. And so you need to run triple of these. And plus, it's a light, so you can go into like, what is that, Star Leech Palladynamo, which is like the most broken exit I've ever seen. Moving on, we're gonna move into the recruiters. Double Shining Angel. I don't like running. Actually, I don't like Shining Angel in general, but I need it sometimes. So I tend to. I like running it, but I tend to side this out the first time I get the chance, because I mean recruiters aren't as good as they once were, because you know the format's faster. And then we're gonna have your staples, no explanations. Then Roto, we're gonna get your Photon Threshers, your Trident Warriors. Then your 1 Day of Peace. This deck, I want to highly stress that this deck doesn't care about plussing and minusing. I know a lot of decks care about, you know, plussing, minusing. Can you keep a consistent hand? Can you maintain field advantage, hand advantage? This deck does not care about any of that. This deck, all this deck is concerned about is wiping out the back row of your opponent and then going for the OTK. So 1 Day of Peace helps you wait a turn and helps you draw as well. Moving on to Pot of Duality. I really wish this was at 3, because this really helps. I mean, like, when you need your pieces to get into the OTK, this will help you search along with Magical Mallet. Now moving on to the last spell card. Vylon Matter is like a pot of avarice for equip cards. You recycle 3 and you can either draw a card or pop a card on the field, and only run 1, because if your OTK doesn't go off well the first time, then you can use this, but anytime after or before that, it's completely dead draw. Now, triple mage power. This card gets the OTK going.
So much damage.
Basically, if you have 3 of these equipped to 1 monster, this is 1500, this is 1500, this is 1500, 4500 right there. But if you have like more cards set, then I mean, yeah, you can get the Vylon Sigma up to 9k plus. I mean, it's just, yeah.
And then you run to mid.
All right. Then we're gonna run a Trice. This attacks twice. You only need 1, because you want to be searching them. You don't want to draw into these.
Yeah.
Basically, if you draw into equip cards, if you draw into equip cards, try to use Magical Mallet and recycle them, because you really don't want to draw into them. Next, we're gonna have 1 component for piercing, and then 1 segment and 1 filament. I know people are gonna say, why not run multiple filaments? Why not run multiple segments? But the way my deck is structured, I have enough cards, such as the trap cards, to make sure that the back row that my opponent has does not affect my OTK. And so I only need 1 of each. This one cannot be targeted by monster effects and trap cards. And this one makes the monster inch-and-gear. So no spells or traps during the damage step. And next for traps, Solemn Judgment's kind of obvious. Malevolent Catastrophe, just 1. Because a lot of people can, you know, get around this. You know, they attack first and then they set their trap cards. So 1 Malevolent Catastrophe, although it does get the job done sometimes, most of the time I end up siding it out, because you know your opponent will be expecting that next duel. And lastly, Trap Stun. A lot of people will probably ask, why not Royal Decree over Trap Stun? Well, this deck only needs 1 or 2 turns to win, so you just need a stun for like a turn or 2. And so, and plus Decree can be MST'd, it can't be chained. But this card, you can chain it, and the entire turn you can't use it.
You can also kind of bluff with it, like if you
exactly,
trap stun, like, oh shoot, and they like solemn. And also, if you play trap stun, then it leaves room for more equips.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I mean, I understand Decree in some decks is better, but when you only need 1 or 2 turns to win, trap stun is definitely the go-to card.
Have you considered Night Beam?
I have. One of the problems is I can't afford it, but the other problem is it only targets one card. Like MST, I think triple MST is good enough, and then you have your trap stuns and your Malevolent Catastrophe, Solemn Judgments to counter the rest. Now moving on to the side deck. Cyber Dragon, obvious against machines, especially when Tin Goldfish comes out. Gadgets are probably going to become more dominant. And then your Watt Pheasants, a good side card against decks that like to exceed a lot. And plus it's a light 4-star, so I can also synchro with it.
Search with.
And plus it also pierces, right? So it takes out 1,000 of them, 1,000 life points. And then Gores, OTK Stopper, Chimera Fortress, you know, machines.
Korean.
Okay, yeah. All right, Mind Control. Decks like Constellars, what is it, Light Sworns. You can take their monster because their monsters are going to be a light most likely, and then you synchro with them. That's why you use Mind Control. System Down, obvious. Mind Crush. I might want to run another one. depends on how well Prophecies and some of the meta decks do in the current format. I mean, they're doing well, so I'm thinking about running 2 of them.
You could consider siding out, like taking systems down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
You already have Chimera Tech.
Yeah. Then we're gonna have Gozen Match. Gozen Match is so good. Oh, it's too good.
It's too good.
Yeah, too good.
Such a fun card.
Yeah. And then your Dark Bribes, kind of obvious. You have to know when to use Dark Bribe though. It's kind of hard to side. You just, like,
it's a funny card.
Yeah, it's a funny card actually. And then lastly, Magic Cylinder. You know, I need to reduce my opponent's life points as fast as possible, and Magic Cylinder helps me do that. Especially when they're going for like big plays. I don't know, like high erratic OTK, stuff like that. You can Magic Cylinder and they can like kill themselves before you kill them. And lastly, we're gonna go over the explanations for the extra deck. So let's do Synchros first. So Vylon Epsilon, kind of, I don't know, it's okay. The only reason I have this and Stardust in here is because, let's see, Morphtronic Scopin is a level 4 in face down in defense, and then you have Trident War, special summon that. You can sync or exceed for rank 4 or level 8, so that's that. So Stardust, Vylon Epsilon, kind of staple, kind of not. And then we're gonna have your double ultimate Black Rose Dragon.
Double ulti.
Sexy.
Basically, you just run these because the concept of the deck is to OTK, right? And basically, Sigma, the OTK maker, really can get stopped by a bunch of trap cards, bunch of monster effects. So there's a lot of times when I just need to nuke the field, and Black Rose helps me do that. And then 2 Sigma. You don't need 3. Two's enough. I can't really explain this one. This is the one that causes you to OTK. When it attacks and there's no monster on the field, or when you control no other monster on the field, you can equip a spell card from your deck. So that works pretty well. And then lastly, we're gonna go over the Exceeds. So Vylon Di Sigma, I ran this over Shockmaster simply because it's a Vylon card, so I can equip all my Vylon equip cards to it. And plus it can, I don't know, like, it can crap on, like, the current meta. I can take like their Abyss Megalo, and then, you know, it's pretty much a catastrophe, right? So use that. MVP, VIP, this is so broken. You don't even understand. Like, this card has won me a lot of duels actually, because you negate their effect. So like, they have a catastrophe. This card, I negate their effect, and if I get destroyed, I draw a card. Like, how good is that? And plus, if I equip Mage Powers or Twin Sword Trice, I can attack twice with a boosted attack. I mean, it's just too broken in this deck. Next, we're gonna have Blade Armor because all the level 4s, except for Genix Neutron, are warriors. So
you're gonna equip like 2 like Mage Powers to it, it's game.
Exactly, yeah. That, or if you equip Twin Sword Trice to this, you know,
yeah,
like, yeah. Some people might think 2 is overkill, but I feel like there's a lot of times when I actually need to go into 2. If you end up playing the deck, you'll see what I mean. So, I mean, it's really up to you how the extra deck works, because, you know, it's open to interpretation just as long as you run this card and your Black Rose and your Sigma.
Do you think 2 Black Rose is really necessary?
Actually, I've gone into it a lot of times. Yeah. Then Kachikochi, because I can't really find another X-Seed. It's like Blade Armor, you know, it's decently good. Then Maestro, I might actually switch Kachikochi out for another Maestro. Maestro's just a really good card, staple. Then Photon Papal Operative, kind of obvious. And Utopia, because there are some times when I need Utopia, but I don't know, it's just a staple.
Just keep in mind that Cowboy could probably replace one of those.
Yeah, Cowboy definitely can replace, I would say, Kachikochi, or maybe even an Excalibur. Yeah.
If you're pushing for game and they have like 500 left, then you can get it.
Yeah, exactly. And
oh yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
So is Ray Lusted here? Anything else?
No. Just make sure that you guys like this video and help Ray Lusted out.
Okay, I'm Ray. See you guys.
Peace.